Okay, welcome to this Project Management Office Setup, Management and Training brief webinar. We're just going to be on for probably just less than 30 minutes. I want to welcome you to this webinar. For those of us who are joining us from all over the world, welcome. This is the second webinar we're hosting in the last couple of days. So we hosted one on Saturday. This one is going on today, and we're going to be hosting another one this coming Saturday. Having said that, I want to go ahead and begin. As I said, my name is Dr. KD Ewulu. I'm the lead coach for KD Leadership, and I'll be sharing with you today on how to set up a project management office and what it really means to have one, even as we go on. Okay, having said that, we'll go ahead and start. I just want to share a few things with us as we go ahead and start. Let's pull up my. Okay. So we'll go ahead and start. We'll ask ourselves, why are we here? Okay, we're here to learn how to set up a PM office, a PMO, okay, to help you save time and money during the initiation, planning, and the execution stages of your operations. It will show your leaders and employees how to take advantage of PMO, portfolio, program and project relationships, and reporting structure, and how to streamline those to help you improve your performance. And we're here also to learn how to use selected project management software. Okay, our focus will be on a software that will embrace, that will allow you and your organization to brainstorm solutions, mind map, schedule, execute, and monitor your activities. We want to also learn how to leverage speed and accuracy for product delivery. When I say that, I mean we'll show you how to automate and quicken delivery of client expectations by the interweave of project management processes, knowledge areas, tools, and methodology in our live work settings, okay? Having said that, you want to ask, who is this webinar for? This webinar is for business owners and corporate leaderships. You're looking for ways to cost-effectively improve performance and profits in the long, sustainable term, or to automate your operations and bring order to your operational processes. That's your business owner or corporate leadership. Now, if you're a project manager in a large or medium corporate setting, you're looking for ways to get more out of your existing project management office, or to initiate the setup of one and the operations of one, okay? And then whether you're a consultant or a visionary or an influencer, you're a business strategist or expert with the responsibility of improving profits, productivity, expertise, and the corporate atmosphere within your organization. If you're any of these, then of course, this is why you're here today. So I want to say the first thing we want to start on is we want to interweave your project management processes, knowledge areas, tools, and methodology. How do we do that? Okay. We want to first start by defining your projects. A project is a group of activities that have start and finish dates, scope, quality, and cost implications. The ability to balance the requirements of the triple constraints, time, scope, and cost, to produce the client's expected outcome is called good project management. Okay, so project managers plan and control the activities of project team members, sometimes referred to as subject matter experts, SMEs. The series of phases that a project passes through from initiation to closure is called a project life cycle. All members of the project team, as well as all internal and external interested parties, are collectively called project stakeholders. Competitors and detractors are also considered as project stakeholders as well. All right. So what is a project? A project is a time-defined endeavor focused on creating a unique service. Okay. They have start and end times. The end occurs when projects have been met, the goals have been met, objectives cannot be met, or the need for the project no longer exists. Now, on the other hand, a program is a group of related projects or sub-projects, and a portfolio is a grouping of projects and programs under that portfolio. So in effect, projects report to programs and programs report to portfolios. Now, the PMO, the Project Management Office, is the governing body over portfolios, because the portfolios oversee the programs and the programs oversee portfolios. Okay, so having said that, I will want to be sharing something just a little bit here for us. I'm going to be sharing something very, very quickly here for us, just to let us want to share a certain screen for you right now, very, very quickly, and then I'll get back to what I've been sharing with us. Okay, so basically, if you look at this screen right now, you see the relationship between functional managers and project managers, okay? A functional manager is the head of a department, okay? What you see here that I've called FM1, FM2, FM3, FM4, FM5, okay? These are functional managers. But the project managers are those that the green line you see here are horizontal lines that typify what a project manager does. A project manager goes ahead and picks subject matter experts from each of the functional managers, from each of the departments. Then that makes up the project team. You see why the project team members report both to the project manager and they report to the functional manager. So they have two masters. And your job as a project manager is to share your powers with the functional manager to ensure that work is done. This is what is called a balanced matrix. Now, ideally, project managers want to have all the power, most of the power, which is called a strong matrix. They want to have most of the power in order to make decisions within their projects. But ideally, what you want to do is to share power equally. That way, you have a functional manager who is helping you when you have issues with the subject matter experts that are drawn from their department. Okay, that's really what I wanted to share. And then, of course, I want to show you that relationship between the functional manager, the PMO, and the rest of the group. As I said, the PMO is the governing body, and the portfolio managers report to the PMO. All right. Now, the program managers report to the portfolios. Okay. And then the projects report to the programs. So in effect, projects report to programs and programs report to portfolios, and then the portfolios report to the project management office. All right, having said that, it's important for us to understand that project team members are assigned by the PMO, or in larger organizations by the functional managers. All right, project teams are assigned by the PMO. Team members are assigned by the PMO. All right, having said that, I want to move us on to the next level. And what I wanted to show you here is I want to define the project management processes. A project management process is a tool, okay, a capability that is applied to by a project management practitioner in order to meet project deliverables. Deliverables are what you call outputs or end results of a course of action. There are 49 project management processes, and there are 5 project management process groups. These 5 are identified as initiation, planning, executing, monitoring and control, and closure. What is the initiation process group? These are processes that define a project and authorize its inception. Things like a project charter, the authority to start a project. These all happen in the initiation process group. Planning process group, now that you have started the project, the project manager who is appointed during the initiation process is now allowed to put together his project team, and they begin to plan that project. That's what happens in the planning process group, okay? The executing process group happens after the planning, and guess what? That's where the execution of the work actually starts and its satisfactory completion. The monitoring and controlling process group happens at the same time the execution is happening and further up until it's finished. These are people who track and review and regulate the progress and performance of the project. They ensure that the project is going in line with what was planned in the process group. You get that now? They are making sure that what is being executed is in line with what was planned. And then the closing process group finalizes all project activities as soon as it's done and brings closure to the project, okay? All right, having said that, I want to also share with us the project management knowledge areas. As you well know, the project management knowledge areas include integration management, scope management, time management, cost management, quality management, human resource management, project communications management, risk management, procurement management, and stakeholder management. Okay, the outputs of all these management areas combine to produce what is called the project management plan. All right, so having said that now, you want to ask yourself, what are the project management tools that are available to be used? The first one is the work breakdown structure, WBS. What is this? It's a list of the smallest activities that answer the following questions. What tasks must be completed, in what order they should be completed, who the tasks are assigned to individually, and how much time is adequate for completing the tasks. All right, now I'm going to share with you what one of it looks like, okay? Just to share with you a little bit what a WBS looks like. Very, very briefly, this is what a WBS looks like. Okay, a WBS looks this way: a list of activities, their predecessor activities, and the durations. This is just something I pulled off the top of my head, okay? Your list can be anything, your project can be anything. Predecessor means what activities have to be done before the next one is done, and these are the durations on the right-hand side. Okay, having said that as well, I'm going to go ahead and answer certain questions. What does the WBS do? Okay, now we've looked at the WBS and what it does. We're moving to another tool called the Gantt chart. Okay, this is a pictorial diagram of tasks, their relationships, durations, and resource assignments. Okay, the horizontal bars depict tasks and their durations. Calendar dates also show the start and finish times of each one. Okay, and subject matter experts in charge of each activity are also placed on that. Let me show you an example of what that looks like as well, because we need to, I want to move fast here. So as I share that with you, just very briefly give you an example of what a Gantt chart looks like. This is an example of what a Gantt chart looks like. As you can see, that's the horizontal depiction. And for instance, let me select activity B and activity E. Activity B has a duration of 2.5 weeks from here to there. It's handled by Mr. Andy, and activity B must end before activity E can start, which is handled by Mr. Peter, and which has a duration of 1.5 weeks. Okay, I just need to share that a little bit with you, exactly how that works. Now, having said that as well, I'm going to move into the next tool, which is a network diagram and analysis. What is a network diagram and analysis? Okay, a diagram that shows how the tasks relate to each other. The tasks can be performed concurrently, and there are those that have finished start relationships. Okay, they're aligned according to precedence, which tasks must be done first, which tasks depend on previous completions to begin to happen. Okay, you can add your task durations based on the recommendations of your assigned resource personnel, meaning it's not your job as a PM, as a project manager, to determine how long a task will take. It's the job of your team members who are subject matter experts to tell you how much that happens. Okay, I'm going to share with you right now again what a diagram looks like, very, very briefly. Let me just share that with you, what it looks like. Okay. So in fact, what you're looking at here right now is a network diagram. And what you see here right now, look at these tasks B, C, and D. They are running concurrently in parallel with each other, meaning they are working they're being done at the same time. E, F, and G are being done at the same time. But B, E, and H, one must finish before the other one starts. This must finish before this starts. So you can see that the network diagram gives you an idea of the interrelationships between the different activities. Okay? And that's what is very important for us all to understand, that you have to have a visual of how the activities relate to each other. So what is a critical path? A critical path is actually the path where the activities along that path don't have any wiggle room. Okay, meaning that let's say you assign 2 weeks to each activity, you have to perform it under 2 weeks or at exactly 2 weeks, otherwise your entire project will be late. You call those activities critical path activities, and you call the activities that lie along that path, okay, the critical path. All right. Now, you can also determine the critical path by looking at the slack. Each activity has what you call slack. The slack is what you've calculated to be the zero. The room you have to maneuver. Let's just say a child falls sick and the person handling the task cannot come to work that day. If you have a slack of 2 days on it, it means that you have 2 extra days. So the fact that that employee lost 1 day doesn't mean that the project is going to crash. It doesn't mean the project is going to be late because you have a buffer of 2 days there. That's what a slack is. All right, now I'm going to show you exactly what that means and how that ties in with the critical path, okay? So let me share with you how that ties in with the critical path. What does a critical path look like? This is what a critical path looks like. As you can see, this blue line tells you the critical path. And how does that work? If you look at all the activities on this blue line, they all have zeros here, 0 and 0, 0 and 0. That's the slack. And so you're tracing the line where there is no room for wiggling, no room for maneuvers at all. It is the activities that have zeros linked together that gives you the critical path. Again, you can calculate it by adding up the durations of each of those activities. And there are 4 paths here. A, B, E, H, J is one path. A, C, F, H, J is another path. A, C, G, I, J is another path. And the last path is A, D, G, I, J. These are 4 paths. If you add up the durations of each of them, you find the one with the longest path. And again, the one with the longest path is 17, which falls along this blue line as well. So these are the critical paths, and the activities that fall along that line are called critical path activities. All right? So something that I want to share with us here is, okay, the good thing about automation is that when you apply automation to an efficient operation, it will magnify the efficiency. But when you apply automation to an inefficient operation, it will magnify the inefficiency. So you don't want to apply project management software to a defective system. You want to first fix your system, and then, and only then, do you go ahead to apply PM software to them. Having said that, I want to share with us a little bit more about PM software, okay? There are different PM softwares. There's one called a concept draw office. And what it does is it helps you to show relevant organizational projects. It helps you demonstrate a brainstorming session, a mind map diagram, convert to concept draw project, convert to WBS and a Gantt chart, which we've shared before. Okay, so it helps you do that. And I'll give you a link to that. You want to download that, that's fine. I'll show you how to do that. So you ask yourself how to develop a mind map diagram. Okay, you want to develop a mind map diagram. You want to know how to convert mind map diagrams to concept draw project. You want to know how to convert concept draw project outcomes to WBS, Gantt charts, and PowerPoint presentations. How do you do that? I'm going to go ahead and share with you about 3 slides right now to show you stuff that I've done before. I just wanted to share with us because time is not going to let us show you how that is put together through the concept draw office. So this is a brainstorming example. Okay, this is an imaginary road project I put together. As you can see, I put the road project, the things that involve their objectives, legal entities, licensing institutions, taxpayers, land bureau, malls, animal protection groups, all that is involved in the construction of a 200 or 300 kilometer road project spanning through several cities. All the people that are involved, these are all people you call stakeholders. Now, having said that, this is what is called a brainstorming session. Just throwing in everything. There are no relationships in here yet. Now, as we move to the next slide, you're going to see the relationships, okay? These are the relationships now. Everything that I've given you here is now being interrelated and interconnected here. This is a mind mapping example. Now I've put the relationships to show you how they interweave and how they connect. This is very, very important as we move on. You want to see how they interweave, you want to see how they connect. All right, and then we'll go to the next one. When you click a button, what does it do? It gives you what is called a project, a concept draw project. This is the Gantt chart. This is the WBS. This gives you the critical path and so on and so on. And we'll just go on and like that. So this is really a software that will help you get your act together as you go from brainstorming to mind mapping to developing it into a Gantt chart and into a network diagram and all the way into developing your project. Now, having said that, we want to set up a project management office. How do you do that? Okay, I'm just looking at my time now and I have to really move fast right now. As I said, the PMO is the organizational unit that centralizes and coordinates the management of projects within an organization. It reports to the organizational leadership. The PMO head is the organization, the head of the lead for portfolios and programs. All right. Having said that, of course, the Change Management Board consists of a group of program leaders that take final decisions concerning changes during the project execution and monitoring that were not planned into the project at the beginning, changes that occur that need to be put into the project. You have a Change Management Board that determines, that gives authorization for that change to happen. The executive champion is someone who speaks on behalf of project managers to the Executive Management Board, to the leadership, okay? SMEs, subject matter experts, are project team members who are authorities in the field, all right? Now, let me again show you what that looks like, because you need to see that to understand. These are the relationships between the PMO and the org leadership. The PMO here is the governing body. The change board reports to them, the program leads report to them, okay? The training also, everything comes off of the PMO, all right? But guess what? You see that the projects report to the programs, the projects report to the programs, and the executive champion has a link to all the project managers and is able to take what they need and go and present it to the organizational leadership in case they need some money or they need some kind of assistance. They need executive leverage, okay? Okay, having said that, I am going to move on to this. So, what does the PMO do? The PMO identifies PM methodologies, best practices, coaches, mentors, trains, provides oversight to project managers, uses audits to monitor compliance, develops and manages other shared information, coordinates communication across all the projects, okay? So as a PMO, you need good basic management skills. You want to set clear and tangible goals. You want to hold PMs accountable, praise, recognize, coach, and if needed, counsel them. You want to beef up your PMO program project communication interactions, okay? You want to establish and provide one-on-one time for each PM to discuss what their challenges are. Okay, having said that, there's been a past training by KD leadership, okay, on the PMO thing, and I'm going to be calling that Company X. We put together a 10-hour program spanning over 10 sessions, one session a week, to train their entire company running across the whole country, states and local government councils and whatever, to run their people and to make sure that there's a smooth operation. We introduced Concept Draw Office and MS projects to utilize in planning and executing their things, and of course the Gantt charts and the network diagrams, all that came in, and we were able to deliver the sessions via Zoom and through the company's Facebook Live pages. So having said that, why Company X? It's a government agency. They have coordinating offices all across the country. They needed to adequately coordinate their activities across federal, state, and local government levels. Okay, there was training in the areas of budgeting, sustaining productivity in virtual operations, and the use of project management techniques. All this happened. And finally, Company X had the training budget to actualize these goals. All right. So now, having said that, what were the opportunities, what were the gains? They could upgrade their planning and operational teams in such a way that productivity was enhanced. Their field operators were better equipped, their hands on the pulse to get things done. Leaders and field operators became more self-directed and motivated in the discharge of their duties. There was better communications and quicker response up and down the chain of command. All right, I want to share a little bit about an example of what the program looked like even as we rolled it out and how we shared it over 3 days. Because we had to now share this over 3 days because they couldn't go for the whole 10 weeks thing. So we put together this program. This was a program timetable over a period of 3 days to get stuff done for them. All right, so having said that, I'm sharing also the team, the project management team for KD leadership. Of course, I'm here in the middle, and then we have Chuck Simekan and we have Jibril Bazabi Amila. These are all the team members who are part of what we do together to set up a PMO office and to be able to help organizations move faster, quicker, better, and have better client satisfaction and more profits. Having said that, what are we going to be doing? What are our post-training considerations? What are we looking for? I will say to get in touch with us, to discuss a little bit more with us, I will say go ahead and schedule a free 30-minute private Zoom meeting with our team. You can do that at calendar.com/KD Leadership /30 minutes. We can also discuss all your other training needs at that meeting. Some of our offerings are on the next slide. I'll show that to you very, very briefly. Okay, these are some of the offerings that we have, but the important thing is you want to see a lot more of those offerings. You go to kdleadership.com/products, as you can see on your screen. In closing, I will say, go ahead, book your free 30-minute private Zoom meeting with our team at calendly.com/kdleadership/30 minutes. Go ahead and book that so that we can have a free 30 minutes to talk with you, listen to your problems, see how we can help you set up a PMO, see how we can help you, even if you're just starting with project management training, or even if your training needs are span outside the realm of project management, going into change management, team dynamics, sustaining productivity in a virtual world. We're able to help you with all that. Okay, so having said that, I want to thank you for being here. I want to also say, you want to hear more about this presentation, we're meeting again on November the 20th, which is a Saturday at 2 p.m. We use the Saturday because that is important. Most people are at home. 2 p.m. is about 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. in the UK, and maybe 8 p.m. in Nigeria, as the case may be. So people are at home and they can settle down for 30 minutes and see exactly how we can be able to help them. We look forward to having you at that 30-minute call. Again, the link to schedule that call is here, as I said, and that is the link. You can screenshot that, you can copy it right now, or just go to calendly.com/kdleadership/30 minutes. You can also see what the products that we have for you to investigate, to find exactly what it is that we offer. You can go to kdleadership.com/products. Having said that, I want to say a big thank you to Mrs. Ameda Chingale for being here, for making this happen, for the excellent work done in arranging and moderating this webinar. Actually, this webinar was her idea and she has our thanks. Again, I want to say thank you for joining us, and I look forward to working with you to make sure that we provide your training needs going forward into year 2022. Thanks for being with me, and I look forward to talking with you. Again, you know where to reach us, calendly.com/kdleadership.com/30 minutes. Thanks for joining us. And if you missed this, we will see you on Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern. It is still the same sign-in credentials on Zoom. Thanks for having me. This is Dr. KD Ewulu signing out.